Hello, great to have you with me for the 9th episode of Allotment Diaries. I'm Rachel from I Planted That, and you're watching the Virtual Village Hall. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to be showing you what's been happening on the allotment over the last month. But spring has definitely sprung. How long this gorgeous warm weather lasts for is anyone's guess, but come rain or shine, there's lots to be done on the allotment at this time of the year. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you what's been springing up. I'm also going to go on a second-hand hunt for tools where I discover a quirky Danish item for home gardening. But first, my main job is to put the first early potatoes in. So I'm going to show you how to do that.
Getting the new potatoes in is always the first milestone of the year for me. This variety is a first early variety called Rocket. You may remember back in January, I put them in egg boxes to chit. All that means is just getting them ready for planting by keeping them somewhere cool and bright so that they produce these lovely dark green leaves rather than long spindly shoots like when you leave a potato at the bottom of a drawer. There are a few ways you can plant potatoes. Some people dig a trench and place the potatoes along the row, then cover them up. But I always feel that's a lot of unnecessary work. So I dig a hole about 10 to 15 centimetres deep, put the potato in with a bit of organic matter. This here is just a mix of weeds and comfrey leaves that are completely dead and rotted down. And then a few chicken manure pellets. I just sprinkle those in, fill the hole over. I'll mark the rows and give them a good water. The potatoes are set about 30 centimetres apart. Now as they grow, I'll earth them up to encourage the plants to grow more potatoes, and that means that they won't turn green either because they'll be on the soil and not on the surface. But that's a few weeks away yet.
So I'm going to carry on planting potatoes while I show you what's been happening over the last month.
When I chitted the potatoes back in January, I also planted a few in the greenhouse in the hope of being able to harvest them extra early. I've been keeping an eye on them, protecting them from the frost with fleece, and I've been watering them, and I've been rewarded with these gorgeous dark green leaves. So far, so good. Come back later in the series to find out how I get on with these. Talking of the greenhouse, you'll be pleased to know I've given it a good clean finally, scrubbing down the glass to let as much light in as possible and giving it a good tidy. At least as tidy as my greenhouse gets. The salad leaves and dahlias I put in last month are up, and the Italian giant leaf parsley that I sowed last spring by some fluke is still going strong and providing me with lots of flavour in soups, pasta dishes and salads. The tender crops like the aubergines and tomatoes I sowed and kept at home on a windowsill, these have started to appear. For some reason the chillies I sowed haven't come up at all, so I'll need to re-sow these pretty quick. Outside I've planted the broad bean seedlings and I've re-sown a few that didn't take. I've also made a little addition to my allotment seating. I don't know about you, but I can't walk past a skip without taking a look. And a friend was getting rid of some of these old chairs, so I asked if I could have them. They're perfect for my tea breaks. Staying on the theme of second-hand, boot fairs, vintage shops, online auction sites, these are all great places to source second-hand tools. They'll likely be better quality and cheaper than buying new. Most of mine have a little bit of history. This vintage hoe is from eBay. This potato fork, which is specially designed with wide prongs for digging potatoes, used to belong to my dad. It wasn't new to him either, as his neighbour gave it to him years ago. We reckon it's probably about 40 years old. And this is my favourite hand fork, made by my husband's grandfather. He was a bit of an inventor. He built a roadworthy three-wheeler car from scratch, but that's another story. This fork is made from aluminium, so it's lightweight and shouldn't rust. I love a rummage in a charity shop, and it's worth looking out for garden equipment there too. My latest find is this Danish micro veg growing chicken. Now, I've grown cress on wet kitchen roll and in empty, cleaned out eggshells with faces drawn on them, but never on the outside of a terracotta chicken. So I'll let you know how I get on in next month's episode.
One more to go in and then I'm finished here for the day. Thank you for joining me. Please do catch me next time when I'll be preparing all the seeds and all the ground for my cut flower garden. I look forward to seeing you then. Take care. Bye.